Back to our top story now, East Palestine, what Norfolk Southern has and has not done to help the people there that are in misery. The mushroom cloud over East Palestine is, of course, dissipated. Businesses still can't open. Ohio Senator JD Vance penned an op-ed in the Washington Post laying out everything the community needs, includes investments for homeowners, schools, and public service. Most notably, he says East Palestine will need its own version of the Paycheck Protection Program to protect workers and businesses who lost their livelihoods because of the decisions of others. In other words, he wants all Americans to underwrite the lost income of everyone in East Palestine. Seems a bit odd considering Vance ran on a platform of fiscal responsibility. His campaign website criticized the Biden administration for, quote, needless spending. He says it's part of the reason we are seeing runaway and saw runaway inflation. With that, we bring in Vivek Ramaswamy, New York Times bestselling author, biotech venture capitalist, 2024 presidential candidate. Thank you for being with us. Our first 2024 presidential candidate. Welcome to the program. It's good to see you. How do we square this in the Republican Party now between the fiscal conservative principles of the Republican Party of our parents versus the populism now of the Republican Party, be it Donald Trump or J.D. Vance?
So look, on this specific situation of East Palestine, I think it is a false distinction because there should be massive tort liability and specific legal liability under existing laws without passing any new programs that need to be delivered. Accountability is key here. There's a lot of people who are accountable for something that the residents of East Palestine are left holding the bag for, and they deserve recompense. That doesn't necessarily require new lawmaking. That just requires enforcing liability under existing laws as they stand. But you hit on a deeper point, and I do think that this is a conversation that conservatives do need to reckon with, is that, you know what, small government only works if we actually abide by the principles that we stand for. However, there is a frustration, and I think it is a justified frustration in what you call the populist wing of the movement, to say that if they're going to spend on every other cause based on racial categories, based on other aggrieved groups, then shouldn't the rest of the people in this country be able to benefit evenly? And so what I think the populist wing of the party is saying is there's a group of people in this country who have been unheard in flyover states, in manufacturing towns that have, since actually been decimated. And I think that voices a fair concern, but I think the right solution to it should be to restore first principles of actually delivering, accountability to everyone for individual and personal responsibility. That's what I think it means to be a true conservative.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.